Hey! Give it some! Welcome to Don't Everybody Leave. Say howdy to Mac King.
Hey, howdy. Back to you. It is me, Mac King. Welcome to Don't Everybody Leave. And I'm excited today about our show. We've got my big buddy, not that he's big, I don't want to say he's big, but he is fantastic. And he is my buddy. And he's John Archer. He's coming up later. But first, let's bring in our regular cast of characters. And
Yay!
This is the first show I haven't felt like I had to do this while the video is going.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable enough now that I don't feel like we have to
this,
do it.
Goudeau.
Yeah.
Get on with it. Let's start. There's England guy, Vinny Grosso, Jax and Nick Diffatte, and Goudeau, Michael. And it's me. And Nick's in a warehouse today, so he just muted himself. And there's a dude walking behind him.
That was like perfectly cued.
I'll be doing that a lot, probably. Buckle up. God.
Great. It's very exciting. And hey, usually we start off with who died, but I want to just, speaking of died, is that the resurrected Jesus behind you, Jason?
It's not, but it's one of my favorite things. I got this from Derek Delgadio, and what it is it's a picture of John F. Kennedy driving in a convertible with Marilyn Monroe, asking Jesus for directions either to Las Vegas or heaven. He bought it years ago, and when he moved to New York, he didn't have room for everything. So I've got a bunch of his stuff here, and I pulled it down the other day out of the attic, and I was like, I either need to hang this or find it a good home. So maybe we can we could auction it off for charity or something.
I believe I've never seen a picture of receding hairline Jesus either. That's pretty good.
I had never noticed that before. But, so apparently, this is a one of a kind, and he found it at like some street art fair in Los Angeles. You're never going to see that again.
And apparently, Jesus' miracles do have a limit because his hair is receding as well as all of ours.
Right, absolutely.
So we could have an auction. We could have an auction and call it the Dubious Taste Art Auction.
Yeah, something like that.
And Jesus is obvious. He's sending them to Las Vegas, not to heaven.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to go anywhere but Vegas, you know?
Right.
I would argue that those signs should be pointing the same way.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Recently dead here, longtime Las Vegas resident, Mary Wilson, right?
Yeah, Mary Wilson from the Supremes. Can I talk about her for 40 or 50 minutes? Is that okay?
Yeah, why don't you? I
were
believe
expecting
you should
that.
take the Mary Wilson obituary.
No, Mary Wilson she was an original member of the Supremes, and people that aren't soul music fans or nuts or Supremes fans or nuts think that the Supremes kind of ended in the late 60s when Diana Ross left. But actually, Jean Terrell joined, and the Supremes got really good after Diana Ross left. Not necessarily because she left, and they did all this beautiful soul music with all three women trading off lead vocals, like Bridge Over Troubled Water and Don't Let My Teardrops Bother You. She's a beautiful singer. She has a memoir called Dream Girls, right? And you go, oh, that must be what that musical was based on. No, they made the musical based on the Supremes, and then she went, why am I not making money off of this? And she wrote a memoir called Dream Girls. Which I think it's very shrewd. She was there. And yeah, there's me. It's important to note that she looks beautiful and like a star, and I look terrified and nervous and have a Three Stooges haircut. And I'm also wearing it
for that photo.
I did, and I opened it because I'm wearing there's a Motown logo on my shirt, so and I wanted her to see that and care about it, and she did half of those things. So how hard is that?
Right.
So was it pre Diana Ross leaving that they did their version of "Ain't No Mountain High Enough"? She's on.
Yeah.
Diana Ross is on that, right?
Diana Ross is on that, but this is a good thing to talk about when we're eulogizing Mary Wilson. That was when they were named Diana Ross and the Supremes, which is a name change that only one of the three members was happy about.
Right, of course, yeah.
And also, Berry Gordy, the founder of Motown, when they were Diana Ross and the Supremes, put the other two women's pictures on the albums, but they didn't record vocals for those songs.
Is that true?
Because they didn't want to. They were just like, we don't want to pay you. We'll get some session singers to do it that are sitting around. You'll still get to go on tour and make money touring.
Wow.
That's why it's worth, if you like that kind of music, listen to 1970 through 1976 when they disbanded Supremes, because it's all three women singing lead vocals and they all have beautiful voices. You never heard Mary's voice in the 60s. So, I mean, you heard it in background vocals, but yeah.
Yeah, but I never knew that. And the reason I bring up that song is that Alan Wakeling told Gene Anderson, and Gene Anderson told me that song, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, the Diana Ross and the Supremes version, is the perfect structure for a magic trick if you listen to that song. And I'll leave it to the viewers to listen to that and figure out what the hell Alan Wakeling did. I listened to it with Gene and I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about.
I like that you're pretending that we're mysterious when in fact we just can't afford to play that song.
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So the other person who died since we last got together is a fellow named Reggie Jones. And maybe there's a picture of him, Nikki. Yeah, look at that dude.
My.
Yeah, and he was the lifeguard at Jones Beach in New York, and he worked, that picture, he was about 70 years old, I believe, but he worked until he was 81 as a lifeguard, passing their tests. And I liked it because I don't know anything about him other than that, except he worked until he was 81 as a lifeguard, and I hope to do the same as a magician because it's way less strenuous.
Yeah.
Your little old man test that you do before your show.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't even think about that in a long time. I mean, I haven't done a show in 11 months, maybe 12 by the time this airs. And my dressing room is under the stage. All the dressing rooms are down a big, long flight of stairs. And so on the way up to the show, to the stage, I'm carrying my suitcase in one hand with all my crap, and I'm loaded down with rocks and phones and cards, and I weigh like 12 extra pounds, plus I have this 15, 20-pound suitcase, and I take the steps 3 at a time going up that staircase to the stage with the, I don't know, hope, knowledge, whatever, that until I can't do that, I can continue doing a show. So if the day comes that I can't take 3 steps at a time going up to the stage, I'm going to retire. It's all about 3 steps, and and I'm sure though when the time comes when I can only do 2 steps, I'll modify my goal.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have put it on a recording like this.
Yeah. What I was going to
up that staircase lift.
Right. If I'm just sitting with my suitcase at my feet.
Yeah. The other way to look at it, Mac, is that by saying this publicly, you have dramatically increased the chances that somebody will hit you in the leg with a pipe.
What's her name? Tanya Harding. Yeah.
Tanya Harding.
Now, I didn't include her name
Jeff
in my
Goudeau
joke.
Jeff Goudeau Eckert. Sean Eckert was the guy I think that actually swung the pipe.
I was gonna say, yeah, let's say all the names of the living people who were involved in that crime so they can see this and find out about us.
Yeah. I don't know why those names stick in my head, but those are the names of the people that did that.
What I
You
think,
saw the
Matt,
movie, though, right? You saw the movie, right?
yeah,
It was great.
No.
It's fantastic.
I, Tanya, yeah.
I think as long as you can hire someone to jump up 3 steps at a time, you should be able to do shows.
I think that's a fine idea. Do you feel like as long as you can get onto a unicycle,
No, I'll take that out as soon as I can't get on it. I used to be able to do a free mount of the unicycle, and then when I got my hips replaced, I had to take the free mount out. So I've already had to step back from the edge a little.
Goudeau, you should explain what a free mount is. I mean, I know it's
A
somewhat
free mount is
sounds sexy.
yeah. My unicycle is the seat is 6 feet up off the ground, and to get up on that thing, I used to be able to from the floor put 1 foot on the tire and jump up and step on the pedal and get into the seat before the unicycle fell down and then ride it. And now I'd bring out a ladder and climb up.
Now, let's be
And
honest.
a harness and
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I bring out the ladder.
Yes. Yeah. Mac has brought out the ladder. Other people bring out
I
the
brought,
ladder.
yeah.
Nick
I
has
brought out the ladder.
Raise
Yeah.
your hand.
everybody but Jason, I think.
Never brought out the ladder.
Well,
Someday,
Vinny has done another very important job related to bringing out the ladder, which is that he's chatted with me backstage so that I've forgotten to bring out the ladder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had that. We had that in Cuba, Michael. Remember that? I was talking. Jorge Blas our backstage. Jorge Blas had a show in one
Yeah. The
place.
2 theaters right next to each other, so you could
And I
walk
had
backstage across. Yeah.
yeah. So Jorge, while somebody else was on his stage, you were on our stage, and Jorge and I were talking, and I was like, "Oh shit, I missed the music cue. I was supposed to give Michael."
Yeah. He's got a funny joke written for bringing the ladder out at the right time. And if you don't bring it out at the right time, it's whatever the most opposite of a funny joke is. it's just Goudeau standing there, not being able to do anything.
Right.
And speaking of Cuba, we have our guest today.
Oh, what a fine cue! What
Man.
a fine segue.
He did the most noble and beautiful and heart-wrenching battle in Cuba, and I hope he'll tell us, or you guys, about it. Mac and I got to see it. It was great.
Well, now it's
wait.
great.
Yeah. No, it was great then, too. It was
Yeah,
great
okay,
then,
it
too.
was great.
Not for him,
Yeah.
but it was beautiful.
So he's talking about our good buddy John Archer, and I hope after threatening to have him tell that story, he's still with us. John, are you there?
I'm here. Hey.
Hey.
There he is.
You know what? I very nearly made a prediction of how long it would take before Cuba came up. I was going to have an envelope hang up, tear it open, it would have talk about Cuba. I just knew that would happen. Yeah, I got booked for the Cuba convention, which, I mean, booking is a bad term because I didn't get any money. I didn't really have a gig. It was the weirdest thing where I had a booking where I didn't get paid and I didn't do a gig. The show I turned up to perform in, which I was told was going to be a little cabaret thing for English-speaking people, turned out to be a Cuban nightclub with about 200, and I don't think that is an exaggeration. We can save the exaggerations for later, but about 200 Cubans drinking, dancing, trying to get off with each other. And there'd been a sort of band playing on stage. And then we had to go and do a show, and they didn't seem like they were ready for one. And the first,
I mean, my recollection is it wasn't just that they weren't ready for one. That there was no mention of it. They came to this nightclub the way they usually do every weekend to dance and drink and, like you said, get off with each other, whatever. That's an English guy phrase, I guess. Yeah.
There were, like you said, 200 people dancing and make it out, and it's Cuban music, and it's a fantastic club. And they say, "Stop!" English fella gonna do some stuff.
Yeah, an English
gonna
fellow
talk at
relies
you.
very much on the English language. Is going to now try and entertain you with some envelopes with English words written on them and clever little puns based on those words. And in between, he'd play funny songs on a ukulele, that well-known instrument from Cuba. It was one of those gigs where it's so bad, and you know it's going to be so bad, and you know you can't survive, that I was actually enjoying it. And
Well, and you also know that your friends are up in the balcony. The other acts on this, me, Goudeau, Jorge Blas, all the people who went down to Cuba, all the performers were up in the balcony drinking and watching and loving your struggle so much. I had told my wife Jennifer, she'd met you, but she'd never seen you work, and so I'm like, you're gonna love this so much. He's one of my favorite acts. You're gonna be dying. I think he's right up your alley. You're gonna just, he's an endearing person. You have already decided, but wait till you see his act, and you'll see, what a fantastic act he is as well, and.
We were letting your pain bubble around us like champagne and loving it. And you were so funny and so accepting of the doom and just facing into it. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Like I said, it was a noble and beautiful thing for us all to see.
One of the things that I told my wife that she would love about you, I think something that we sort of share, is our some sort of innate ability to say things to an audience that other people would have a hard time getting away with.
Yeah. Sorry, that's the one I use a lot.
They realize who you are and what and how. Soul is a weird word to say, but they see into your soul somehow.
They know your intent. I think they read your intent.
But also, the other thing I always say, which sounds very corny, but I genuinely mean it, is I think you've got to genuinely love your audience. If you're performing for any other reason than you love the fact that you're making them happy, then it's difficult to get away with it. But if you genuinely do love those people out there and think what a gift we've been given to go out there and make people happy when they've got so much crap going on in their lives, that will naturally come through. You don't have to. We've lost Nick. He didn't like that idea. Like
he hates his audience.
The audience.
Young guy. He's a young guy.
He's the opposite of Thurston. He stands backstage going, "I hate these people. I hate these people. I hate
all done with aggression." That was Diffatte, wasn't it? Yeah.
That Diffatte was all done with aggression. Exactly.
So
I mean, for those of you who don't know that story, I mean, Howard Thurston, great magician, turn of the past century, claimed to stand backstage and say that before the show. I love my audience. I love my audience. And I think that really does make a giant difference. So you've been passing your time, though. I've noticed colorizing old black and white photos.
Yeah, coloring in, as my wife calls it. I'm just coloring a picture.
In contrast to introducing my wife to the great John Archer, when I introduced my wife to the great Albert Goshman at the Magic Castle, Albert said, this is my wife Jennifer, this is Albert Goshman, great magician, and he said, "Would you like to see some magic tricks?" She's like, "Yeah." And we sat down at a little table, tiny little round table at the Magic Castle, Blackstone table, and Albert did his act for me and my wife. It was fantastic. And and he was, in full Albert Goshman mode. I mean, he had stains on his tie. And
it was funny, when I colorized the picture, there were stains on the shirt. And I took it out, got rid of them.
We have some of those that we can have people look at. And maybe we should start with the Nate Leipzig.
Yeah. This is one that I just did recently.
But regardless, one of the reasons he's important to me is that he's one of the first people to do close-up magic for thousands of people, right? I mean, his act was a close-up trick act that he did without it, before the days of any kind of video, obviously.
I think I need to pour in Jason England. I just don't have that shirt.
But could you work some of your magic on me?
Give me a minute. You could probably help by pressing a button on your end.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, I've done it.
Wow.
Done it. Yeah. Some of them don't look great when they're coloured. I apologize for that.
How come you didn't color his hair?
Hey. Actually, John, I do have a photo that I would like you to work your magic on, to colorize. I think it would look a lot better. I don't know if Nikki, that one, if you could work on. In fact, about the first 15 minutes of that movie sucks.
Yeah, this will freak you out. You see that? You see that blue cloth behind me there?
Yeah.
Watch. Just keep watching. Yeah. Yeah. Did that feel the same as when you were there?
Yeah, almost exactly the same.
It's now the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
Instead of an angry neighbor. Would you be able to give me Tom Cruise's jawline? Is that a thing that's... Is there a way to make that happen?
There's only so far you can go with Photoshop, I'm afraid. Yeah. Sorry, Jay.
So this is working out great without Nick. I just wanted to point that out. I don't know. I mean, the symmetry of 6 heads across.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really working out well, I think.
There's maybe Malini.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's with Jacob.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's Max Malini and his son.
Just a towering figure in late 1800s, early 1900s close-up magic.
Well, let's see. You can bring up Fred Capps. Too. This is beautiful, and I really liked it because of you made him wearing one of my jackets, which I thought was great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was. I didn't put that pattern on there. That pattern was on there. He was wearing a plaid jacket, so
all the greats do.
Yeah, exactly. Although he was smart enough to get rid of it quite early on in his career.
If you want to bring up June McComb. Who's not a well-known magician, even among magicians. But she was Billy McComb's wife at one point. She did a magic act. She's a beautiful woman.
So can you do anything with this?
Oh, dude, look at that.
D&B. Is that you?
Whose hair are you using?
I was 16.
If people ask me what's your favorite movie, It's a Wonderful Life is... and I know it's a bit corny and everybody chooses It's a Wonderful Life, but I think there's a reason why everybody chooses It's a Wonderful Life. It's a very, I mean, it's told in a very corny way, but just that, I just like the message that we can think that we're not making any difference in the world. And actually, we've touched lots of people's lives just through not really just being who we are and trying to do the right thing. So I love that movie.
But there's also in that movie, there's some little vaudeville routines too, with Bert and Ernie, the cab driver and the cop.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah,
with the hat and the tip in the water in the guy's hand when he holds out.
People are wondering where the Sesame Street characters got their name. That is the actual answer.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Super cool. I as a rule, will watch and love anything that Jimmy Stewart is in. I've never seen him give a bad performance in anything. He's unbelievably likable and perfect. Yeah.
No!
Shoot!
Now you've done it. Nice job, Jacob.
Yeah, no, it's great. Groundhog Day is what I just recently watched again after a long time. And I'd forgotten how good Groundhog Day was. I'd forgotten how
Really great.
How much is in there.
Yeah.
You should recommend that movie the same way 7 or 8 times throughout the interview.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Where's that not funny button you got, English guy? There you go.
Jason knows
funny.
that I
Very
edit the show, and so I was going to edit out my joke that bombed. But since he did that, I have to leave it in. So since you brought up,
only listen to blues?
Blues, rockabilly, and old rock and roll, anything, back in the 50s. I mean, I grew up in the 70s, but and all my friends were listening to music of the 70s, and I was just desperately trying to find Elvis and Chuck Berry and, Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, all of those guys. I went to see Jerry Lee Lewis, actually, but the last time he performed over here.
I opened for Jerry Lee Lewis. So
Did you really? Do you know what? He mentioned that.
Did he?
No, he didn't. No. But yeah. So when did you open for him? Was it once or on a tour or what?
I think there
You
were.
just opened a door for him. Don't.
Yeah.
You just.
I tour with and I opened for a comedian who's my best friend, but he's also quite a well-known comedian over here called Tim Vine. And I've known him since when he just started a year going full-time as a comedian. I was still a police officer, so I've known him for a long, long time, and I've toured with him for about 13 years, opening for him, and I do about 25 minutes, and then he goes out and does about an hour and 15. But he's a big Elvis fan, the same as me, and whenever we used to do karaoke, he would always sort of do Elvis. I'd sometimes do a Chuck Berry, Johnny B. Good song or something at karaoke. And one of his birthday parties a few years ago, he dressed up in a PVC jumpsuit and got himself introduced as Plastic Elvis. And he came out and sang and talked a bit like Elvis, but didn't say he was Elvis. He said he was Plastic Elvis. And he sang Elvis Presley songs. Anyway, this developed till he eventually got a backing band of session musicians. And I opened for him at a small gig at a music venue called the Half Moon in Putney, where every big English band has ever played. It's just a 200 seat, 200 standing pub. And I opened for him first of all, played blues, and he said you should do some Buddy Holly stuff, because I used to do a Buddy Holly impression where I'd sort of slightly take the mick out of, make a fool of Buddy Holly in a nice way. So I'd go, oh, little things that you say and do, and make me want to be with you. Oh, you've only so crazy, and it was all like that. Don't worry, my Wi-Fi was right at that point.
And you don't do that anymore?
And
That is so English.
no, what happened was we did it at Edinburgh Festival 2 years ago, and our tour manager, or his tour manager, said, I think I could get you at the Hammersmith Apollo, which holds 3,500 people, and it's where the Beatles performed, Penn Teller, and lots of other great names. And we've done it on our tour, comedy tour, but he's
No.
We thought of the name for the episode.
while I was gone.
Yeah.
It's going to be called God Damn It, John's Son.
Yeah, his name's Tom. Let's give it.
God damn it, Tom.
Yeah.
We were also you just
It might
saved
not even
Jason.
be him. It might not even be him, but I want somebody to take the blame. So anyway, I was doing that Buddy Holly thing. So
Yeah, can you do it again? We missed it.
Oh, did you?
No. Don't do it again.
Yeah. So now we are touring. It was supposed to be this year. We're touring next year. We've got 40 venues. We're finishing at the Hammersmith Apollo, and he's Plastic Elvis with a full backing band, and I'm doing Big Buddy Holly with a wig, and I've got proper Buddy Holly glasses, and I've had a a Buddy Holly ukulele made. So this is a baritone. It's a baritone, so it's a. So it's all sort of, Buddy Holly style. It's so easy to fall in love. It's so easy to fall in love. Anyway, it's that sort of thing. You're not getting the whole song.
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, so all those people in the 50s and 60s, and stuff that everybody knows: Elvis, Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry, Little Richard,
Marty McFly at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
Right.
That's where it all got started.
That's where it all began. But I mean, do you have like stuff that you've unearthed where you go, I can't believe it, nobody's ever heard of this guy?
I really like C6 Steve.
I never heard of that. What is it?
Google C6 Steve. He plays a 3-string guitar at one point that he bought from a music shop, and he refuses to put any more strings on it. He was basically a hobo, sort of living in trains. And when he was about 60-something, he appeared on Jules Holland's show over here called The Hootenanny, which is a New Year's Eve music show. And he instantly became a hit. And now he does all the music festivals over here. He's got like top and Tom.
God damn it, Tom. That's a good frame to freeze on, though.
Yeah. I am actually here. I'm just pulling my face.
Oh,
Jason,
Holding still for too long.
I have everyone except for John.
Yeah, me too. Oh, now I have John.
I have John, but he's choppy.
You should be back.
Am I back yet?
And, yeah.
Yeah, that's our rule. Keep drinking till the computer works.
Oh, crap.
No, he was messing with you that time, Mac. He was
You're
just
all
holding
playing
still.
my game now, aren't you? You're all just using your.
Oh no.
That's great. I can't hold it that long. It's not.
Yeah, this
not on us.
is just on him. Yeah,
Well, it's on Tom.
it is on Tom.
God damn it, Tom.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
There he is.
But now we can't tell if he's messing with us
Yeah,
or not.
yeah. We don't
Yeah.
know whether he's just fucking with us now.
Yeah.
We'll edit out all the internet glitches. That's not a problem. But if
Yeah.
if you would take us Wi-Fi for So we've had a little bit of internet trouble with Mr. John Archer, but I would love it, John, if you would take us home with you got maybe a song or two.
Yeah, you're not getting two. I might get one.
Okay, one is yeah.
I'll
just
play a little bit.
Hopefully, I was trying to be hopeful.
Can you hear that? Yep. Good. All right. This is just for you, Mac. Watch that blue moon of Kentucky keep on shining. Shine on the one, it's gonna leave me blue. Blue moon of Kentucky keep on shining. Shine on the one, it's gonna leave me blue. It was on a moonlit night, stars shining bright. Whispered on high, my love left me dry. I'll see a blue moon of Kentucky keep on shining. Shine on the one, it's gonna leave me blue. was internet. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one it's gonna let me blue. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one it's gonna let me blue. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. That was a key change. Shine on the one it's gonna let me blue. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the morning, it's gonna let me blue. Shine on the morning, it's gonna let me blue. Shine on the morning, it's gonna let me blue. There you go.
Oh man,
Beautiful.
I sure did love that.
Wow.
I sure did.
That's that's Kentucky graphics for you.
Yeah, that's my fancy graphics. Hey,
Mac, before you
I did love that. Wait, before we say, I just want to brag again. A little more name dropping. I also opened for Bill Monroe.
You've only got 27 seconds. Sorry, keep going. I've got another one of these to do. 21 seconds left.
I just want before we end, John, will you tell people where they can hire you or see more about you on social media or buy your stuff?
Via my website, john-archer.com. It's got lots
We
of
used to have a staff that would. There you go.
Yeah.
It was like, what's taking so long?
I think it might have spelled out hyphen though.
Maybe the staff doesn't like when we ask them to do it passive aggressively, and she just cut Jason from the feed.
I've been canned. Unbelievable.
All right, Mac.
By the way, if you look at the top of the screen, right,
Yeah.
what you're thinking of has now vanished. Am I right?
Yeah.
Wow. On that amazing note, thanks to our guest, John Archer, and to Nikki and Steven Sikulski at the Neon Pineapple for all their work. And I guess we can say that in addition to Mary Wilson and the other people who have died today, Nick Diffatte is also dead.
To us, anyway.
Dead to us, yeah.
And we're going to sign off as we always do with a lovely quote from my good pal George Clinton. Just because you win the fight don't make you right. Just because you give don't make you good. See you next time on Don't Everybody Leave. I love you all.
Hey, give us up.